Welcome everybody, welcome to my site, A Tomb of Illumination. This video is about some about physics, actually, about the our flat earth realm. Understanding why science has you believing, or most people believing, they live on a ball, a sphere, as opposed to a flat circular earth. See, science is, they've worked everything out mathematically. It's all equations. There's no logic or common sense to it, but it's all equations. So at the end of the day, you're all going to the indoctrination camps to come out illogical and not thinking practically. You've lost your own sense, basically, if you think you live on a spinning ball. So I'm going to go over some equations and show you how we get the 360 degrees, why they keep referring it to a sphere when it's just a cycle the sun and the moon take. Mainly the moon. It's the moon cycle, and it does a 360 degree cycle over half the month, then back up. Okay, so there's a lot to this, so just listen up. So what you have to understand is the flat earth model, right? If you don't understand it, you might want to go and follow some older videos of mine. It describes the whole model. It's about the central vortex of creation that's hidden above the center Arctic. Okay? And inside this vortex is an S-curve. It's the cycle the moon takes. S-curve, 3D S-curve from the side like this, but if you look down inside the vortex, it's a Fibonacci. So this is the pattern the stars and the moon take. The moon takes it over a month, stars take it over 24 hours, and the ecliptic plane do it over a year to give you the 360 degree cycle. So let's come down to the sun's in a lemma for a starter. So if you take it from here, which is the centre north, I haven't got my other flat earth. You need the flat earth plan view to look down on to understand how the sun and a lemma works on the flat earth plan. You might want to look at some earlier videos of mine. But you can imagine this pattern. It's the pattern all the way down and loops back around like this. So this is one way of looking at it. See, from there down and around to there, that's 360 degrees. You could form a circle with that pattern. You know what I mean? But it's this pattern here. And then, say this is 1/2, 360 degrees. Then you've got this loop out of the north coming down to the south. That's another 360 degrees. So you've got two 360 degree cycles. Okay? Now, what you have to understand is every month the moon goes into the sun, because the moon is actually, it's the other half of the sun. It's basically, they're both one unit. That's singularity. When they go together, it's singularity, and that's just showing our dual world, how our dual world works, male and female. So back at singularity, before we were born into this physical world, we were male and female, the hermaphrodite, which is what the sun is actually. And born into this physical world, we're separated. Then you have to find your way back home to be single again. Well, at new moon, every new moon, the moon goes straight into the sun. They become one, singularity, every month. So and when the new moon goes into the full sun, it turns for 2.16 days without us seeing it. So you can write off that 2 days because it's the moon's just going around with the sun. But at the end of the month, when it comes out at new moon, it's 0.16, which is 1.92 hours further around in its cycle. So if you look at the flat earth, it's like this up here. So the moon basically does this cardioid shape. So it's like two Fibonacci's create a cardioid, right? So it comes around, it's full moon down here, so let's say it's sun's up here, opposite. Full moon coming back around and loops around into the sun and then comes out again. So you've got 14 days basically. Okay, so this looping in here is 2 days. So the sun and moon are running together for 2 days. But when it pops out, it creeps around that extra 1 hour 92 minutes each month. That's what I've worked out, but I'm trying to make it correlate with the 19-day metonic cycle, but I haven't got that far. The board's run out, my brain's worn out. So anyway, okay, so you get that idea. So looking down on the vortex, this S-curve, you get this Fibonacci like this. That's one cycle. That's 360 degrees. Then do another one, it comes right round. So we'll come back here. So the ancients knew it was a 13-month calendar. What we're told, it was devised by this Auguste Comte in 1849. More like ancient Egyptians is the truth. But they come up with 364 days, 13 times 28, including the 1 or 2 blank days. I don't know what they're talking about there. Didn't bother getting into it. 28 days. But anyway, it comes down to 27.36 I get. Science as 27.3231. So this is the synodic month, which is full moon to full moon. So it's taken into account the 2 days it's lost in this little loop with the sun. So, and there's the sidereal month. That's in relation to the stars. Same place to the background stars, apparently. So let me draw that. Rub that off. So it's full moon, comes around, loops, goes in, and then comes out like this. Okay, that's the cardioid. It's married into the sun here. You've got the black hole right in the centre. The sun is here. Maybe we should have drawn it red. The sun is on the horizon of the black hole. And the moon, in blue maybe, right there, comes in and gets in with the sun. And they travel around the black hole. Yes, the sun moves around the black hole. Science doesn't tell you that. They're full of it. They just do whatever suits their spinning ball. So there's no spinning ball when you understand the 360 degree cycle the moon and all the stars take in this pattern. Understanding that. Okay, so say straight. Start with a 0 point here, come down 1 loop on this half. This one 0 point, comes up 1 loop on his half. They're both 360 degrees in their cycles. So what have we got here? So 27.36 the sidereal month. So notice this here. This cardioid is flat. Flat at this point just here, see? This is understanding Khufu. Well, you need to understand Khufu represents the moon pyramid. Khufu pyramid represents the moon. There is 13 moon cycles. Remember this figure here, look, the divine 13.52. 13.52. 13 moon cycles, and the pyramid is 52 degrees. There are angles. There's 13 moon cycles, and the pyramid sides are at 52 degrees. Khufu has a flat top to represent the top of the cardioid. there. Nothing flat about the sun. Okay, so forget the sun, nothing to do with the sun. The sun is carefree. And whatever it's called, represents Mercury. Because the three entities represent the solar eclipse and the whole divine religious story. Because Mercury blocks the frequencies from the sun, passes in front of the actual sun back here at creation, passes in front of the sun here, because this sun here creates the image we see out here. If it's blocked by Mercury back here at creation, we don't get the image. This is what creates the solar eclipses and lunar eclipses over our flat earth realm. The moon, full moon, is back here, and we have Venus interfering with the moon there. That's for lunar eclipses. So it's understanding Khufu and the moon. Should we carry on down here? No, we'll come back to that. Okay, so if we take the sidereal month away from the Sidonic, you're left with this 216 days hidden in the sun. So we could cross that off and just leave the 1.6 to 1 hour 92 per month extra. It moves. So if we go 2736 times 12, it comes to this figure. So many days, a lot shorter than a year, right? But then you go down to the 360 degrees because it's a cycle. So you imagine, you have to understand the flat earth is 360 degrees too, is a flat plane, as well as the cycle. That's where you come into why they think they live on a globe. Anyway, you take away that figure, you're left with this. So this 360 is a half cycle of the moon. A full cycle is 720. Anyway, so you get this figure here and take away a full Sidonic month. It leaves you this 216 again. You come to that 216. So I put it down to being correct because, and then you add all these digits up. Look, they keep coming to all these divine nines. You see, 18s, always the nines, adding up to 18 or 19. 18 or 9. So the moon moves 0.16 of a day each month, which is 1 hour 92 hours. The Freemasons, this came in later, so we might get onto that. The Freemasons do not want you, the slave race, to understand the 13-month cycle period. I did all this yesterday. I've lost track of what I'm basically getting at here. Because this is referring back to this, it all comes back to this divine period, this hidden secret period that only the Freemasons know about. And they want to divert you away from it at all costs. And there's something else further on I'll get into that will sort of verify this, back this up. Okay, at the crossover, all the planets, this is the crossover here. I've got no other drawing at the moment. That's the equilibrium, you see. This is the point there is equilibrium. All the ecliptic plane is dead level. You might, guys who've been following me for a few years might realize I've been saying it's the equinox, but man's deceived. So where we see the sun come out even east to west at the equinox isn't actually there. I've got to get into that later with other videos, but it's back here at the 6th of September. The ecliptic plane is level. All the planets are there. The moon is there at the divine period, that is. At the crossover, all the planets, the moon, full moon at the event, and sun are all sitting in the one even balanced plane, in tune. 432. The scales are balanced. You have been weighed. That's the ancient Egyptian story. It's all to do with this divine point here. Let's go a bit further. So we did C12, so it wasn't so basically about another month on here, but you come down here now. 13 times that comes to 355. And then you add all these digits up, look, come to 27. There's multiples of 9 again. 365 days minus that comes to that. So that means nothing. Because we can't work on 365 days. That's just nothing. It's totally irrelevant, 365 days, because it's all about the 360 plus the holy days, 5 holy days. So you don't work in the 5 holy days. You just trust me, you've got to know what you're talking about. So 360 degrees minus that number comes to, look, 432. We all know that's a divine frequency. We get into that, we got that up here too. So if you take these hours here per month, times it by 12, there's 23 hours and 4 seconds. 360 degrees times that, divided by that, 1 hour 92, brings you back to 432. I don't know where I'm going with that, but anyway, it just keeps bringing these numbers up. So at the end of the day, look, 2 times 416 days each way equals 432. The divine frequency. This is the divine frequency. This is the most holiest of holy places in our realm. Is right there at that sun crossover. That's the Jesus story, the hanging on the cross. There, the 5 holy days are in there. You've got the 432. It's all connected. So, rub that out. The S-curve of creation is a 360 degree cycle. The monthly cycle of the moon is a 360 degree cycle times 2 actually. Half cycle, halfway up. So it comes down to full moon and then back up into the face of the sun. So what you need to do, I'll finish this. The monthly cycle, blah, 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 not the daily motion. It's the overall monthly cycle. Daily it's going around every day. Creates like a bee's hive. The yearly cycle of the sun is 2 times 360 as well. So, you know, you've got them all doing the same thing. You've got the daily for the stars, monthly for the moon, and yearly for the sun. Pretty cool, eh? So this 360 cycle, the analemma, so 2 of them got 360. Now Nigel Cheese and his magnetism, he touches on all this. He knows this. What's going on here? How to get energy out of magnets. So just roughly, you've got to understand. You've got a magnetic field. You've got a magnetic field and a turning electromagnetic induction. It's not just electrical. So as we know you've got a turning moving electrical charge. You've got a changing magnetic field. So if you can imagine, the sun is always going around like this back here in creation. It's going around the black hole all the time like this. And then you've got the like the moon going in and out like this. So this is resonance pulsating. Say, but the moon, because resonance coming out of the black hole creates the sound, creates all of life. So you've got the moon going like this all the time. So you've got to think of life as friction. Life is like this, isn't it? Well, in creation, it's the male part going like that, but back in create opposite, it's the female going like that. So female, the moon is basically doing this. The oscillating of the vibrating of the sun. It's all connected to nature. It's all, you know, it's all connected. The whole creation story. Alpha and Omega. So the sun is always moving around the whole. So there is no beginning and no end. So the sun is always going like that. And then you can think of life. Life comes in and goes out. Comes in, goes out. The sun is always moving. Life comes in, goes out. Life comes in and goes out. So you can imagine, treat this as the moon or the life. The sun is boring. It just keeps doing the circle like this. In the mythological stories it's boring, but you know, it's our divine creator, because it's on the horizon of the Father, the black hole. All life comes from the hole. Around the sun. Take it up to the sun. So this is full moon coming out here and going back up to new moon. So this is the bi-bull. So you come down here, bi-bull is the duality, and the bull meaning expansion. The universe as a duality. It's been exposed, expanded for us, but really, you take that back up into there, it becomes nothing, because everything comes from nothing. You know what I mean? You just bring it all back up to a flat plane, or just into nothing. It's just stretched out, expanded out to show us our realm. And talking about expansion, you can go back to Schrodinger's equation, and his other crony mates, probably all Freemasons. You know, they probably stole the information from the ancient Chinese or somewhere else, but anyway, it's about the hydrogen molecule. Everything's about water, and our whole Earth, the ecliptic plane, you could say, is the atom of a hydrogen atom. So they say it's got one proton, one neutron, one electron. But what they don't tell you, or maybe they do quietly, not too many people, is it can be in different energy states. You raise the energy state, you have more electrons. So this is our ecliptic plane. You put all the planets' circles there. Right back in the nucleus is the black hole, which is neutral, and the proton right there with it is the sun. And out here you have all your electrons. They're different wave. They're waves of different energy. Gradients. It's getting weaker and weaker. It's red shifting away from the center blue. Right? Then you've got the moon to consider. So I had that on top of my mind yesterday, but I haven't today. But that moves out and in, out and in, spreading the energy, changing the an oscillator. The frequency, it's all about frequencies, going in and out. Comes in, takes the energy from the moon, sun and spreads it out, comes back. But that's another story. Right, the sea curve. Okay, we've got the seahorse here. See the seahorse? All the creatures of the earth represent something in creation. This is basically what you've got with our sun system across the flat earth. You got the center. This is the center Arctic here, and down here you got this a meridian, which is a south. Every man is on one of these meridians here. But all the way around the flat earth system, you go, it's like this, or it's like this, all the way around our flat earth system, because there's many souths, and you're always on a meridian. So every man is on one of his is on a meridian. He gets a north to south view, no matter where he is, all the way around the flat plane of Earth. But the star rotation be slightly drifted west than the guy more east, because it's one reflected motion of the central northern hemisphere stars. As they turn, they're reflecting, it's all reflected outwards. So if that's turned that much more, then obviously that rotation out here would have turned that much more west. It's a no-brainer. So you've got the curve, okay, seahorse. So you've got to think of C, the letter C, magnetic curve. The C, the magnetic field of Earth, either side of the tropics, is curved. So it's a C, it's letter C, curve. Just something to think about. Because at the end of the day, you've got a curve out of the north and one, like this, from the north, and this one comes from the south this way. And then you have the handle of the bow. It's a bow. Everything comes out of this southern curve around this way, and everything comes out of the north around this way. They're both coming in from the east, aren't they? East. That's how it works. So you've got the northern hemisphere cycle, southern hemisphere cycle. And the 5 holy days. It started off trying to break this down, trying to find connections, but then I drifted off to all these other things. But that's pretty much it. So the video is basically about why they tell you live on a sphere, because everything equates to a 360-degree cycle. And I think it can only happen on a ball, because they're pretty simple. They don't want to understand what the Egyptians have left us. All the information's in here. A 360-degree cycle. Like I say, stars over the day, moon over the month, sun over the year. Flippin' awesome. I had more on my mind, I've since forgotten it. The Freemasons, what else was connected to that? I can't remember. But it's to do with this divine period, the 5 holy days that get added on to the 360 degrees. Because the 360 degree pattern down here, well, for 5 days in here, not necessarily 5 there maybe, is at least 3 days. It could be 1 here and here. But anyway, at least 3 in here get lost when the sun is not moving. It's coming around daily, but it's not moving in the seasonal change. It's not continuing on its 360-degree cycle. That's how we end up adding on those 5 extra days to the 360 cycle.